Hello and welcome to the Slow Stitch Advent Calendar Review. So this is the final project. I've made a travel pouch. It's done up with a piece of the ribbon. So if I undo that, in fact before I undo it, let me just flip it over so you can see on the back. So we've got a nice patterned back. I've used some of the yarn here and done a whipped running stitch. In fact, it follows a pattern either side. I just felt that it needed a bit of vertical lines on there. And then these pieces here are all small scraps of the fabric. So I used the denim, I used some of the suiting fabric, and I added beads, little star shapes, a little bit of running stitch, just basically made it up as I went along. And then I've got some beadwork here, which I've never done before, so let me just bring that a bit closer to the camera. You can just see the sort of variety of different beads there, bugle beads, little seed beads. Again, use some of the suiting fabric and a bit of random cottony fabric, and just played, just made it up as I went along. If I didn't like the look of it, I added a bit more. And then here we've got some of the yarn swirled round. So that's the back. Let's flip it back over again. Open up the fastening, and then I'll flip it open. Okay, so here we have the interior of the pouch. Now, this evolved. It wasn't intended to be quite this way. I wasn't going to have this side. I was just going to have a pouch here, and I was always going to have my little travel notebook that I use. I've put a blank one in for this year now for the next trip. But that's my little camper van notes that I made the cover for this. So that's going to sit in here, so it's in a tidy place. There's space there for any other bits and pieces. And then under here, I've got some envelopes because I always collect bits and pieces, especially if I'm beach combing. So I want envelopes to be able to put things in, and then I can just tuck them inside here. That's the plan anyway. And then I also gave myself a little pen holder, and this is a little bit tight. There's always difficulties when you're putting things together, when you're constructing things, and I didn't quite allow enough elastic to comfortably get this pen in. So it's a little bit of a push and a pull. I'm not going to take it out because it's just sitting in there nicely, but it's in, it can be used, so I'm happy with it. This fabric here extends inside both sides of the pouch. It's Liberty fabric. It's fabric I've had it for years, wondered how I was going to use it, and just felt it worked really well with the blue linen. You're probably wondering why I've got these D-rings. The idea is when these get full, there's going to be, there's a chance things might slide out. So what I might do, and I have tried it, I've taken it off because it looked a little bit messy, but just tie those two together, put a piece of ribbon between the two, knot it, tie it in a bow. Same with this, just tie it together. Or I've got some other little sort of bag making components that I've got like a swivel clip, so I could actually clip things onto this. So it's very much, I've put them on because it was better to sew them on now rather than later or during construction. So those may well be used for different things, or if I don't like them, I can just take them off because it'll just snip the embroidery thread off, and we can take them off if they're no good. So it's a work in progress. We'll see how it operates on a practical level. These I've just randomly stitched on pieces that I showed you earlier in the month when I was putting this thing together, and I really just made it up as I went along. I just took the pieces, added to it, just kind of randomly applied what I wanted. I always did want this piece on the front. I don't know why, it just seemed to call out to me. I've played with threads here. These are aughts. Not entirely happy with that bit, but it is what it is. I'm not going to change it. So this one here was better. If I show it to the camera a little bit more, if you can just see that. It's just tiny scraps of thread, and I've just couched them down, and it actually is really firm. It's not going to fall anywhere, so I'm happy with that. And the colours work quite well. So it's very experimental, but it's got a practical use, and that's what I really like. So hopefully I will take this on the next trip, which is going to be the middle of February, and we'll see how we get on with it. And if it needs adaptation, then that's what I'll do. But for the time being, I'm more than happy with this. I'm going to just tie it up. It's very straightforward and simple to use. So that's it, nice little bow. And that's it. So hopefully you like those ideas. I'm going to detail what I've done in later posts, but for the time being I thought it was easier just to do a video. Hope you like it, and keep an eye out for the next project. Thank you, bye.